beginning the session, let me give you all a brief introduction about Financial Yaari and what exactly we do. So, Financial Yaari was started in April 2020, which is last year, by Mr. Sandeep Saini. We are engaged in the business of financial learning and financial spreading. And we are also engaged in market research, equity and startup research, and investment and portfolio advice. So we have our speaker today, Ms. Kirti Mehta. Ma'am is a soft skills trainer and a corporate trainer. She's also a confidence building coach. She has basically educated and taught a number of management students and corporates to gain a confident personality and also to create an impact in their respective domains. So I welcome you to this webinar today, ma'am. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Meghali, for this lovely introduction. I hope I am clearly visible and audible to all of you.
Yes, ma'am, absolutely. You are.
Okay, thank you so much. So, first of all, I would like to extend a heartfelt thank to Financial Yaari platform for giving me this opportunity where I can interact with an individual who are so enthusiastic and so curious to learn various things about how they can build their confident personality. So, let me first tell you about a bit myself, that as Meghali has already told you that I'm a soft skills trainer. Profession, I'm working as a soft skills trainer, and I love to train students. I love to train management corporates who have that charisma, who have that curiosity to go beyond their limits. Likewise, in today's session also, we are going to explore a lot of different things which will definitely help you to build your confident personality, right? So as you already know, that today we are going to discuss about how you can create an everlasting first impression. So most of the time we have heard this quote that your first impression is your last impression, right? So according to me, it's not the last impression, it is the lasting impression. When you meet somebody for the first time, how they treat you, how they talk to you, how they present themselves to you, there are a lot of things which creates a difference, right? So it can be any point of time in your life. It does not mean that you're too late to learn this art. If you are here today in this session, if you're learning these skills today, then you can implement all these skills in your life and you can start feeling the experience, a whole new different experience, and a massive change in your personality. Okay, so who all among you are really excited for today's session? Let me know in the comment section. Type I am in the comment section so that I come to know that you are excited to learn, because this is something which is not an ordinary thing. You're going to learn extraordinary skills. So I should know that what is the level of curiosity, excitement in my audience. Very good. So as they say that Josh should always be high. So I would like to know that how's the Josh, my team? Great to see your response, that you all are interested to learn this very new thing and very new concepts in your life. Okay, so the word itself, first impression. If we meet somebody for the first time, what is the first thing that you feel, we notice? Let me know. Write it down, your answers. What is the first thing that you notice in any individual, any person? During the entire session, I want it to be very, very interactive, where I am not only one who is speaking, you also have to participate, put forward your questions, your queries, and everything will be answered, right? So when you meet someone for the first time, what is one thing which you notice at first go? The way of talking, maybe? Dress? Sunita is saying dressing sense. Joseph is saying face. Okay. So what else? Look. Sunil is saying look. Okay. Do come up with some interesting answers. That what is the first thing that you notice in an individual when you meet them for the first time? So Ribu is saying body language. Saloni is saying behavior. Sukhneet is saying confidence. Akash is saying way of talking, gesture, postures. Okay, so a lot of people coming up with different set of answers. So when we see someone for the first time, there is nothing we can judge about the way of talking, because unless or until we have started talking to them, we can't judge them on the basis of their way of conversating, right? So the only thing which we can judge upon is how they carry themselves, right? Their dress up, the way they have hold up their body, the way they are sitting, of course, their expressions, the facial expressions, the body language, all together, all these things play an important role when we have to build a conceptual thinking or a judgment about any person, right? So remember the days when you enter in your school, in your college, university for the first time. So if any new student make an entry in your class, so by just looking at the personality, you just immediately make a decision. Either you want to talk to that person or you don't want to initiate a conversation, right? So this is the first impression that our mind creates by just looking at the visuals, right? So it is very, very sure that the way we look has a lot of, you know, portion or lot of contribution in creating an impression in somebody else's mind. Do you agree? Just type yes in the comment section if you agree to this point, that your dressing sense has a lot of contribution to make in creating the first impression. Absolutely right. So first thing we're going to talk about is how you should dress, right? The other thing is, of course, the way of talking, the way you talk to the other people, how you made them comfortable. That is what is going to be the deciding factor. Now, just compare both the statements. If someone who's very good looking, who's an amazing personality, but they're not good at their talking, they're not making you feel comfortable. So, of course, you will not have a good impression about themselves, right? So, yes, partially your dress sense has important role to play, but how you treat the other individual, in total, it has a lot of things. And if you blend these two things together, then you can have that magnetic personality which can attract a lot of individuals, which, you know, they really want to talk to you, they really want to build a network connection with you and take that conversation to the next level, right? I'm just going to share my screen so that you people will be able to see the PPT, and through this I'm going to explain different aspects of how you can create a good first impression. Just let me know if my PPT screen is visible to all of you. Just type yes.
Well,
Thank you so much. Okay. So today I'm going to talk about 10 tips for making a great impression. Okay, so 10 tips I'm going to reveal with you today, which will definitely help you to create an everlasting impression, right? So let's quickly start with this. So the very first thing that you should know, that people usually take very less amount of time while they create a decision about somebody's personality. So we just look at the person, and within few seconds our mind decides, like, either this is a kind of a person whom you want to take conversation ahead or you don't want to take it ahead, right? So the moment you have joined this session, the moment I started speaking, the moment you started listening, you have decided either you want to stay here or this session is of no use for you people, right? So it's initial few seconds, few minutes where you just win the game and, you know, get a hold at the other person. So you have to be, you know, very, very spontaneous. You don't have to wait for long hours to create that impression. Your personality should have that persona, that charisma, which compel the other person to talk to you, to take that conversation to the next level, right? So you can implement the same rule everywhere. If you are going to make new friends, then also it's going to be helpful. If you're going for an interview, then also your first impression is the only thing which matters, because you will not get the second chance to create your first impression. You will not tell the interviewer, sir, by mistake I have said so, can I just come again and give my interview once again? It will not happen, right? So whatever you have in your hand is the present moment, is the present time where you have to create a difference. Okay, so the initial timing is very, very important. If some of you may be working in corporate, some of you are working in any of the sector, it's really important to build that connection with the client. If you are a working professional, if you're a student, or you are from any industry for say, everywhere building connection, creating first good impression is really, really important. Throughout my life I have experienced this thing. I have learned this thing, that when you are good at creating connections in the initial period, it will last for a longer run, and it will definitely help you in altogether different ways. So first tip I would like to give you is to maintain the eye contact. Whenever you are meeting someone, do not look here and there while talking. It will distract the other person. It will make them feel that you're not interested and you're not engaged in your conversation. Again, the rule implies everywhere. If you are somebody who's giving presentation to the corporate client, and while giving presentation you're looking here, you're looking there, you're not making eye contact, then the conversation which will have no confidence, the conversation will not be compelling enough to make that client take the right decision that would be in your favor, right? Due to this pandemic, everything has come to the online medium, right? We are also having this session today through online platform, and I can't have any audience as such in front of me. All I have is a camera in front of me, and I'm just talking. So for me, my camera is my audience. If while talking and while explaining, I look around myself, if I look around the camera and not direct straight in the eye of the camera, then what you will feel? How do you feel? Suppose, for example, if I just look here and then start communicating with you and then start explaining it to you, you will immediately feel that we are unable to create that connection, right? So it's very, very important that you maintain that eye contact, which will definitely help you to win the confidence of the other person. It's a saying that if somebody who's talking to you is unable to create that eye contact, maybe that person is hiding something, or maybe that person is lying. They're not being true to their heart. So, yes, if you want the confidence of the other person, you have to look straight in their eyes. And looking into their eyes, maintaining an eye contact, it's an art. You don't have to stare them. You don't have to look at the same direction for a longer period of time. That can make anyone uncomfortable also. So a gentle eye contact, or you just have an eye contact for a few seconds, then you shift your gaze and you shift it back. By doing it, you can obviously win the confidence of the other people, right? So the first tip to have a good impression is maintain an eye contact. Again, it applicable if you're going to an interview, if you're on stage doing public speaking, you're giving any presentation, you're meeting someone for the first time, you're having a discussion with your team. When you look straight in their eyes, it will keep the conversation, or it will take the conversation to the next level. I hope you have got this, and this very point is clear to all of you. And I request, if you people have any question, we'll spare it for the last session, the last phase of this session. Okay, so during the initial phase, try to learn as many things as possible. By the time I have my PPT on my screen, I am not able to look into your comments. So all your comments I will see and read towards the end of this session. So in case of any query, you can reserve it with you and you can ask when I will have Q&A round. Okay, moving on to the next tip, that you should have an open face. Now, what does that mean? How we can open up our face, right? So some of you must be thinking that, is it even a trick, or is it even a technique? Then use a technique which will help you again to win the hearts of people. Likewise, I'm talking to you, I'm speaking to this camera, I'm looking straight in the eyes of this camera. Still, at the same time, I have a gentle, nice smile on my face. So this is what make you have an open face. When you have an open face, a friendly face, people will find you more trustworthy. If you just keep frowning means when you just raise your eyebrows and there's a expression of sadness and depression on your face, nobody likes to have a conversation, nobody likes to talk to a person who is sad all the time. So the tip here is you should have an open face which is, very very friendly, which make the other person comfortable. Now tell me, यू कैन थिंक ऑफ द सिचुएशन, आप लोग जितने भी लोगों से मिलते हैं, अगर कोई जो बहुत सैड हो उससे मिलकर आपको अच्छा लगेगा या ओके ओके लगेगा? समटाइम्स देयर आर पर्सन जिनसे मिलने के बाद वी फील लाइक व्हाट अ पर्सन, क्या पर्सनालिटी है, इससे मिलकर तो आज दिन बन गया. So we have such kind of thoughts in our mind when we meet somebody with an open face, with a smiling and a friendly face. Likewise, we also have to adopt these traits and take them in our personality, make them as a habit. It's not going to come overnight. You really need to practice it. And with practicing, you will come to know that how important it is to have such kind of, personality traits which will attract the other people. When you grow up, when you go and join the corporate world, there you will feel that a lot of people are working, a lot of stress is going on. Still, you will feel or see that nice gentle smile on the employee's face, and that is what making everybody's comfortable, and that is what making the work goes on, right? So this is the tip number 2 which you really need to keep in your mind. Let's move to the third tip. That is very very important and very very crucial, to have a good body language. Now what does that mean? Body language in itself is a wider term. It's a huge topic which covers a lot of things. So if I talk about specific 1 or 2 tips I would like to share in today's session, then it would be, whenever you are meeting somebody, then your posture should be straight. You should not feel like that having lazy body and you're slouching and you're having no energy in your body. So that should not be the case. You should always have your back straight and don't sit with your arms crossed. I'll show you guys, if you can see me. If I sit like this, if my arms are crossed and my hands are crossed, maybe it's not a positive or an open body language. When you cross your arm or when there is any cross, any X mark in your body, it is considered as a negative body language, which is
Excuse me,
not
ma'am.
acceptable.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes,
Sorry to interrupt, ma'am. Your slide is not moving.
I have not moved my slide. There is only slide number 3 which is visible. Is it the same one which you can
Ma'am.
see?
No, ma'am, we are on first slide, which is showing
Yeah.
top 10 tips for making the great first impression.
Okay, but for my side, it's moving ahead. Is it visible to you now? Just give me a minute. Is it visible now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you for letting me know. So we can continue again, that we are discussing about the body language, right? So a good body language and an open body language is something when you have no cross in your body. What do I mean by that? When you put your arms like this, when you cross your arm like this and sit like this, it indicates that you are not a person who is interested in the conversation. I know before this session, you might have used this body language because you were not aware of the same, right? But to have a good body language, it is always advisable to use open arms, right? To open-ended body language. So don't close or cross your arms. It does not extends a positive vibe to the other person. Okay, I hope you have understood now. So to have a good open body language is what you can follow if you're in an interview also. If you're meeting your HR panel for the first time, then it's always great to create that impression so that they can have the trust in you. They can feel the confidence in your body language that you are the perfect fit for this role. Right? So it's very, very important that you take care of your body language. Sometimes what happens is, in general, we people don't give so much of of importance to the body language. We feel that who is watching? Nobody is watching us. If we stay at home, then again we became very, very lazy and lethargic, and we don't focus on how we dress up and how we take care of our body language. So, students or whosoever have joined us in today's session, it's really important that how you are taking care of yourself and how you are, carrying up yourself throughout your day. Even if you are at home, you are not supposed to go for that basic and ordinary body language, because ultimately this is what will become a habit, and a habit will become your character, right? So if you really want to build that strong, positive, magnetic personality and a character, you should follow all these steps on a regular basis. Okay, I hope you all are enjoying this session. Let me quickly ask to you people that if you enjoying, type E in the comment section. I don't want you people to type down long sentences. Just type E in the comment section if you are enjoying this class and getting to learn a lot of things. Thank you so much for this response. You are amazing. Trust me, you people are amazing who are taking out time to type it down in the chat box. It's giving me the confidence to deliver the best that I can. All right. So let's move to the next part, that is be genuine. Students, or all the persons who have joined me in this live session, this is the golden rule that you can follow. This is the golden rule that you can just stick to your entire life. That is, be genuine all the time. You can take your own example. If you meet somebody for the first time, and if they brag about something they have, if they fake things, then you don't like to meet them the next time, even if you don't like to take that initial conversation ahead, right? So we always, as a human, we always want to have a conversation with someone who is genuine at heart, who is true, who is not using any false things, or who's not annoying us. So likewise, you have to be very, very genuine with your approach. Whosoever you meet for the first time, you have to portray that you are adding value to their lifestyle. I'll tell you, in this session today, I don't know any one of you personally, right? Still, I am here treating you all as if I want to give all my value, all my knowledge to you people, right? So those who will feel that connection, those who will feel that vibe, they will stay, they will stick to this session till the end. So this is what the genuine and the positive feel will do to your personality. If you think of your own profit all the time, if you think about your own selfish motive all the time, then people will not like you ultimately, right? So you have to follow the genuine approach whenever you meet anyone. Okay, let's move ahead to the next tip, that is the tip number 5, or the technique number 5, that is don't boost. Suppose if you have someone of your family member in politics or at some higher position, or somebody who's very, very influential person, do not boost it in front of other people. They might not like it. Okay, again, take your own example. If somebody will come to you and tell you that chacha vidhayak hai hamare, so we can do that, we can do this thing. So you don't like the vibe of that individual. You just start having that sour feeling, sour vibe out of that person, and you don't want to build that connection. So again, if you're good at something, suppose you're a topper of your class, and if you keep on saying that I am the one who is best, if you have good communication skills, if you think that you are the one who can do this thing and nobody else can, then also you are doing a mistake. Then also you are creating such circle or that shell around you, which will not let anybody else come across and build that true connection with you. Okay, so don't boost ever. Whenever you are in an interview, one more tip I would like to give you here: as humble as you will be during your interview, your interviewer will take you as a candidate who will fit this job role really well. If you keep on saying that my father is working at this position, I have no requirement, I have no need to do this and that, they will also feel that if you are not in need, we are not even interested to give that job to you, right? So you have to keep it minimalized, and you don't have to boost about anything. Okay, make it a thumb rule, a golden rule, that you will stay genuine and you will don't boost about any of your possessions, because people will not like it. If anybody come to me and start bragging about his or her possession, even on face I will not say anything, but at my heart I really don't want to gel up or build any connection with that individual, because this is not something which approach me personally. Okay, so this is what something that you really need to take care of. Okay, next is again a very important thing. A smile can do wonders. Don't ever underestimate the power of a smile. When you are with someone for the first time, and when you put a nice gentle smile on your face, people can trust you, they feel comfortable around you. And yes, if somebody, just think of the time, just think of, I can only relate to one example, that there is a class full of students who are very egoistic, and there is one student who walks in, who's a new admission, and there's just one single person who gives a smile back, and that one smile wins the confidence of that new student, and they immediately build that connection, right? So that gentle smile will help you win the heart, and of course to build that everlasting impression also. By smiling, it does not mean that all the time you have to do that. Sadak par chalte hue you don't have to pass on smiles to any random person. That would be drastic, the consequences will be very drastic and dangerous. So that also you need to take care in mind. Whenever it is required, only then do that. Okay, I hope you all are enjoying these sessions and enjoying learning with a fun fact. So I'm trying my level best just to keep all these points and techniques very relevant, so that you can relate and retain the information at the same time. Okay, so yes, moving on to the next technique or the next tip, that is the tip number 7, of course, the appearance, the thing which we have discussed in the very starting. That is very important. Okay, how does it matter? I'll give you a very relevant example. Suppose you're about to go to a mall to buy something for you, and you're going in your tracksuit, in your night suit, in your pajamas and your t-shirt, a normal one, a casual one, right? And you're going to a multi-brand showroom. When you go there in your casual dress up, even the salesman will not take you, a potential candidate, a potential customer, even he will also not take you seriously. So we have to dress according to the occasion. If you're going on an interview, you should follow the professional outlook. I'm working as a soft skills trainer from last 4 years, and I have trained many students. And one thing as a mistake which I found common in all of them is they take their appearance on a very light mode, that it's not so important, just put a shirt and a pant of any color and we're good to go. But that is not the case. There is a color combination theory. There are different colors which you should totally avoid at the time of your interview. There are different contrast that you should follow to make the other person feel that you are very professional with your approach. There are different style of your appearance, your clothes that you should follow to build up your impression, right? Again, body language is a very wide part. Likewise, your dressing sense is also very wide aspect. I can't include every possible detail in this single session, because we're just touching the topics and trying to include their essence in the importance of first impression. Okay, so yes, dress sense is very important. You have to dress up yourself according to the situation or the occasion that you are going to attend. Okay, so you just can't ignore that how you're dressing up yourself. This is something which will decide that how people will treat you, right? Again, the next step is very, very logical and technical at the same time. So when you are having a conversation with a person and when you take their name in between the conversation, it will make them even more interested. Likewise, if I'm talking to you and if I take Ruby's name, that how Ruby is doing and how Paliva is doing, so it will instantly make them feel attentive in the session, right? So when you talk to anybody, you have to take up their name once or twice in the sentence. It will make them feel engaged or a part of that conversation. Okay, so do follow this technique and let me know that how differently it's going to affect the way you have your conversation. Okay, so do take the name of that individual so that it can help them to listen to you better, and it also shows that you are a good listener because you remembered their name. Okay, so it's a good sign that you can follow. Afterwards, again, a positive mindset. When you have a positivity in your mind, you will have a next level of confidence in yourself, right? So if you think negative, you will do the negative things and negativity will come to you. If you are a positive person, your thoughts are positive, everything good will come towards you. You will attract that positivity from the universe. Okay, and being a human, it's psychological fact, we always want to surround ourselves with the persons who are positive in nature. क्या कोई ऐसा दोस्त बनाना चाहता है, ऐसे किसी पर्सन से मिलना चाहता है कंप्लेंट करता हो, हमेशा कहता हो कि मेरे साथ सब बुरा होता है? We don't want that kind of person, right? Want or like that vibe around us. Everybody wants a stable life. हर किसी को stable जिंदगी चाहिए. But to get that stable life, it's us who need to put some effort to get that life going. Okay, so this is again a very, very useful tip. And yes, practice, practice, and practice. It will only help you to make or create your good first impression. And again, as they say, practice makes one perfect. So the more you practice, the more perfect you will become. So this is all about the technique of how you can create a good first impression. As I've told you that I want this session to be more practical, more logical. So it was about the theoretical concepts that I have shared just now, of course, with the practical examples also. Now I'm opening up the house for the question and answers. If you have any kind of question related to your personality, how you can create your first impression, you can ask me by writing it down in the chat box. So I'm waiting for all the interesting questions that you wish to ask to me. I would be really happy if I could be of any help to you people. So ask any questions if you have. And if you have don't have any questions, and you can let me know how was the session, what was your key learning, what all things you got to learn in today's session. I'm waiting for the feedback. It's our first impression, right? It's our first interaction. So you all are also making your first impression. I have just taught you how you can create your first impression. So now it's your turn to showcase me that what all you have learned and how you reciprocate, write it down in the chat box, will help me to understand or will definitely give me a clear idea about your personality traits. So Saloni is saying that it's a very informative and amazing session. Sunita is saying it's amazing, awesome.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
All the questions will be answered when you write it down in the chat box. I request all of you not to unmute themselves. It will create the chaos and I will not be able to listen up to you. Write down your questions. I will read and definitely revert. Okay, so we have a lot of questions. Let me read one by one. So Chandray is saying, if interviewer asks about the expected salary, what should we tell? Basically, this question is not a part of today's session. We have planned another interview session round for such kind of questions. But because you have asked, I would definitely like to answer this question. So Chandray, it depends on different aspects. If you're a fresher or if you're a experienced candidate, then the answer would be different. So first tell me which aspect you're asking this question, as a fresher or as an experienced person. So Dipali is asking, in case of girls, what kind of hairstyle do we make? I mean, keep it simple or open up or anything else. Very, very important aspect of our appearance is our hairstyle. So how we create our hairstyle, how we do our hairdo is what going to decide our complete look, right? I am an image consultant also, where I help people to choose the right color, the right pattern, and the right style for their personality. So, to answer this question, I would like to elaborate a bit more practical aspect of this question. If you're someone who's having a short hair, then your hairs should be nicely combed, nicely pinned, and settled up. If you're keeping it open and they're coming all over your face when you're meeting someone, it will not create a good impression, of course. If you have a long hair, do not let them open. Tie them up in a nice bun or a ponytail as per your preference. It gives you more professional look. And if you are going out for some party function, for some occasion, then you can choose a hairstyle as per your preference. Aditya is asking, what is the best color combination to wear in the formals during the interview? Aditya, let me tell you, the color theory depends upon what kind of skin tone you have, what kind of body shape do you have. Then, according to the months, according to the timing of your interview, we decide the colors. So, just to answer this question, I would say the gray or black color trouser with a white or slightest pink color shirt would go the best combination for boys. Thank you, Anand Kumar Rai, for this appreciation. Thank you, Dhanashri. So Karuna is asking or saying that session is interesting and innovative. Thank you so much for this appreciation. Any other question you want to ask? Arunesh is saying that in this pandemic, everything going online, in online interview, how we can create good first impression. Very good question. Students, all the techniques that we have discussed in the class, how you can create the first impression, you can apply all of them in your online interviews, because it does not matter that if you are online or offline, you have to create a good impression, right? If for today's session, I could have also come up with my, in my lowers and t-shirts, but I got up, dressed up, and I made myself presentable for the session. So this is something which I do on everyday basis. In all my classes and all my sessions, I dress up in a way. Likewise, I'm doing for a physical session. So you also have to put some extra effort, and you have to present yourself in that way. As I've told you, that you are unable to see the person physically. So for you, the camera is the only person. So you have to make an eye contact with the camera. You have to, if you could switch on your video, then we would have been this, session a more interactive, right? So this is how you can create the good impression online, by applying all the rules we have discussed in the class. So Chandra is saying, as a fresher point of view, what should we say when interviewer asks about the expected salary? If you are a fresher, you can't quote anything which is higher than the usual salary package. If you are someone who has done the graduation, you can't say I am expecting 20 lakh per annum package, because it's not something which is usual. Unless or until you have some extraordinary qualification or extraordinary talent, then you can also quote that. No issues in that. So always research the market, that what exactly companies are paying for this profile, and then you can simply quote that. Thank you for all the appreciation that I can see in the comment section. Thank you again for this wonderful appreciation and this amazing questions that you have put it across. I hope today you have learned something useful. again, I would like to tell you, students, this is something which is very, very close to my heart. I have a passion to train people, and this is something which kept me going from a long, long time. So when you are passionate about something, it will definitely reflect from your work. So whatever you are doing, either you are a student or studying, either you're from corporate, either you are doing your research work or anything you are associated with, be passionate and be true to yourself, and do try to add value in other people's life. When you add value to others, universe will definitely, tell those people to add value to your life also. So you have to do the work of your part, and rest, everything will be sorted out. So this was all about today's session, that how you can create that. Any other question that you are having, I'm open to answer any question. So Arunesh is asking that, is it mandatory to boys to do a clean shave? See, for some profile, for example, if you are going for forces, for armed services, then yes, there's a protocol that you have to follow. But in case of the multinational companies, the corporate world, again, it's not a mandatory, but again, you should not have that funky hairstyle, the spikes, and that long beard look. It does not give a professional outlook. So it's better to have your beard clean and get it shaved. So yes, it's preferable, and it will give you the confidence and a professional outlook. So that is why it is advisable. Any other question you students are having? Mahesh is asking how to save yourself from negative kind of people in workplace. So negative is a word which we really don't want to get ourselves associated to. Unless or until it's about your corona report, you don't want to see negativity anywhere around your life, right? हम सिर्फ कोरोना रिपोर्ट में चाहते हैं कि वहां नेगेटिव आए, बाकी सब जगह we want the positive things. Okay, so you can work on yourself only. There is no way where you can transform the other people mind, the other people thought process. You can stay positive, or if they are bothering you up to a greater extent, then you can just isolate yourself and you can start focusing on your work. It clearly depends to which things you give your focus. If you give your focus to the negative people, you will be around them, and if you shift your focus to something productive, something constructive, you will start feeling the difference. So it's all depend on us and our thought process. I hope this answer would help, and all the questions and queries of yours have been answered, and if still there is something, you can put it across. I will read and revert. So a lot of students are asking me, because they have joined late, say they want me to repeat the tip number 1 and 2. So students, okay, for you people, I just quickly would like to rewind it. That first tip was that you should have an open face, and you should not frown, and you should not do such kind of sad expression, that depressive expression, and you should maintain the eye contact with whosoever you are talking. Likewise, if I'm speaking to you people, I'm looking straight in the camera. Likewise, I'm making an eye contact with you. So create a good eye contact and keep an open face. By open face, I mean that your eyebrows should not be raised up. You should have a nice gentle smile that reflects you are a positive personality. So this is about tip number 1 and 2. Anything else you want me to explain? Any other question? I can't see anything else from your side. So I think that is it from my side for today. Any other question that you're asking related to the HR round for the interview session, we will surely line up one another session in which I will answer all your queries related to the HR round questions. Okay, because I see a lot of people are interested to know that how to answer different questions in an HR round. So do not worry, I will take up all the questions and we'll plan a session soon on how to answer the HR round questions. Okay, so we'll take up all the questions. Till then, wait for some time and enjoy what you do and do what you enjoy. Thank you so much for having me here again. Meghali, thank you so much. The entire team of Financial Yaari, thanks a lot.
Okay, so that brings us to the end of today's session. I thank you, ma'am, for the wonderful webinar today. Since most of us will be starting with our B-School journeys from this year, all the information that you gave us will be very useful. So just some important information for all the participants. Firstly, kindly fill your feedback forms and then you'll be receiving your e-certificates. And also, please share your experience on LinkedIn and also tag Financial Yaari. And you can also tag ma'am and share your respective experiences. So I thank you again, ma'am. Thank you so much. And I thank you all for joining in. Have a great evening. Goodbye.
Thank you so much. Yes, you all can share your feedback to me also on my LinkedIn profile. I would be happy to read all your comments. Thank you so much.